Well. I promised to give you two dreams, but maybe I'm gonna give you one and a half. But I thought I should just mention something about our thoughts and how and other ways that God speaks to us. Because if I don't fit it here, I'm not sure where else I'm gonna fit it. Still talking about life is spiritual, because we've said enough times that this we are not more earthly than we are spiritual. We are spiritual beings. This is a container, this is a vessel, and God is actively speaking to us through the spirit. And the spirit is even beyond the five senses. um I don't know if you've ever thought about someone and then they called you, and when they called you, probably you're gonna text them, and sometimes you're like, okay, believe me, I was also gonna call you. What we call telepathy, which is beyond the five senses. You're communicating with someone's mind. You're communicating with someone, yet you're not together. So I want you to imagine how much that would happen in the spirit. Something happened a while ago. I was in a different country. I was in Thailand. I've always said that was my shortest, most painful trip, because while I was in Thailand, my daughter had an accident at home. So for some reason, you tell me how that is. Like, I was with my friend and we were talking about teeth. So we said, my friend was telling me, oh, this is what I do. No, I was sharing with her a room, and so I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do with my kids when I get back home. And we were talking about teeth. Okay, this is what I'm going to do about them taking care of their teeth and all that. And we had quite a discussion. And while that was happening, something was going to happen at home, like the following day, because we talked about teeth, like today on a Thursday. Let me just take a day. I'm not sure what day of the week it was exactly. Then on a Friday, I received the report that my daughter had an accident, and she had lost some teeth. And I was like, God, what was I supposed to do? We were just talking about teeth. Was that a cue for me? Instead of saying, oh, I'm gonna ask them to take care of their teeth like this, I'm gonna implement these measures in taking care of teeth, was I supposed to pray and tell God, I cover my children's teeth with the blood of Jesus? Hello, who even does that? So I'm starting to be very, very attentive on these things. But recently, I realized that we're not always going to be attentive, because things are going to happen, and every day we have happenings that we won't even like take them to God in prayer. Sometimes we might even look paranoid. We might look, like, hey, you guy, you just pray about everything. But recently, I was with my eldest daughter. I had taken her for her checkup, for the general checkup. So while we were waiting at the doctor's office, I told her I noticed a mark she has on the right side of her face, and as a small mark. And I said, all my kids have a mark on the right, and like on the right side, a small mark. And my daughter said, no, my son doesn't have. And I said, no, he has it. And my daughter said, no, he doesn't have. And I said, but he has it here. And I pointed, like, here, he has it here. My daughter said, no, you're confusing him with my nephew. And I said, no, really? And I kept saying, are you sure? Then I said, okay, we'll go. When you go home, we're going to confirm. Of course, when you came home, I didn't even remember to check. Like, that was it. That was on a Friday. So on a Saturday, my friend and I are seated. And I'm at my friend's house. We are all seated, and my son comes in bleeding. And guess where he was bleeding from? Right here. He walks in and he says, and he's so afraid, because he's seen scars here at this house, and he was so afraid. He didn't even want to look at himself. He was bleeding. They had done first aid on him, but now we needed to take him to the hospital. So I looked at him and I was like, oh my God, exactly. So someone elbowed him when he was playing a basketball. So he went to the hospital and he got 3 stitches here. And guess what? He has a mark here. So I was telling my friend, like, this is so interesting. Was I supposed to, I mean, I know that conversation was like prolonged. Probably I should have said, I cover him with the blood of Jesus, or I refuse. You know, those things that you take for granted. So was God warning me? Did I call it? I mean, those are the things that you ask yourself. My point being, life is spiritual. Life is very spiritual, and we should take our cues from small things to big things. Okay, so let me go back to my dreams. So I'm tracking this back to when I was young, and when God started speaking to me in dreams, and I did not understand the magnitude of it. Right now is when I'm starting to understand, like, my one of my spiritual giftings, which is like, I mean, I've mentioned discernment, but dreams. I don't know if dreams is a spiritual gift. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I did not know the power and the power of dreams, and I did not realize that dreams is one of the major ways that God uses to speak to me. So I dreamt that when my mom was in hospital, I dreamt that I was preaching at her wakes. So I woke up in the morning and I went to church to rebuke that spirit, to rebuke that dream, and I prayed against it, and I said, God, no, I mean, praying for you to add more years to my mom's life and all that. Then I went to the hospital earlier than usual, and I found my mom laying there, and I told her, Mom, you know what? You're not gonna die. You're going to live. Because I had to make declarations with her, because I felt spiritually I had seen something, and I made declarations with her, and I was like, you're not gonna die. You're gonna live to tell the goodness of God. And I spoke to her. I prayed with her. I prayed for her. And she just looked at me like this, and I think I might have mentioned it here maybe in one of the videos, but I'm sure I've written that in my book. And she just rolled her eyes and looked on the other side. And I went with her, and I went to that side, and I told her, Mom, you're not gonna die. And I said, we used to make her say, like, we would say, Mom, you're healed, and she would say, by his stripes I'm healed. But when I said that, she refused. Again, she turned on this other side, and when I went round, she was tearing. And I felt like, when I think about it now, I thought like that there was some sort of communication. Like, there's something that she was saying, and she never said that. And I just walked out, and I was at the balcony crying, because I felt like God doesn't do things without our knowledge. I feel like God doesn't do things without our knowledge. So I felt like there was a message that he gave me, but of course that time you don't want to see that. I saw that maybe she died that same week, and when I think back, I'm like, God is faithful. He always prepares us. He always wants us. He doesn't want things to. He reveals. He tells his secrets to those people that he loves. He tells his friends his secrets. So so that was a dream that I had when I was a bit younger. But now, not recently, in 2021, I had one of the most. It's not one of the most complicated dream, but I have a pile, like, on my phone. I have so many dreams. When I wake up in the morning, I sit up before I leave that place of my dream. Before I engage in anything else, when I dream, the first thing I do, I wake up and I write my dream down. So in 2021, I had a very, very complicated dream. Complicated because it had so many scenes. But the long and short of it, it was everything that was going to happen to me in August. Everything. So this dream I had in 2021, I had people's names, I had people's characters, I had what was going to happen. It was like different things happening between 2022 and 23. Then it didn't make sense. But then later, I've seen everything come to place. And I remember, like, there's something I just told my ex, and I said, I know this and this and this and this. And he was like, how did you know that? And I said, I dreamt about it. Like, I dreamt about everything to the last conversation between, or to my last encounter between my ex and I. Like, I had that dream. I had a dream of exactly how much he was gonna give me. And when I told him, he was like, oh my God, I'm so sure. Yeah, I'm saying that because I mean that's a witness, you know. And I said, this is what I dreamed, that you're gonna do this and you're gonna give me this. And he was like, what? And that is what I'm gonna give you. And that is what I'm giving you. It was exact, precise, to the T, to the T. So my message is short. My message is simple. God speaks, you people. God speaks. And he wants to talk to you. He wants to minister to you. He wants to speak to you. Are you available? Are you available? Yeah. Check out. Check out.